Ladies and gentlemen, the day that we wondered perhaps if it would ever happen. Well, it happened all right. No, not the day that my chair stopped squeaking. That probably won't happen until I get a new chair, which hopefully perhaps soon. The day that I reference, by the way, I apologize for that noise out there as well. I don't know what that noise is. That's weird. I think it's like the wind or something that like blows up inside the house one way or another. TB12. The GOAT. The man who defied even the Madden cover curse. The man who broke the Super Bowl host city curse. The man who helped take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, from the NFL's cellar to the National Football League's penthouse in the space of only 1 year. Gisele Bündchen's husband, he has decided after the course of over 2 decades of professional football, to hang up his cleats, ride off into that proverbial sunset, and call it a career. Tom Brady just recently retires. So that brings about the question, where do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go from here? That's a question that I'll answer in just a moment, because first, I do have to thank you. I have to thank you for supporting this channel, supporting me in my endeavors, and I ask that you please like, comment, subscribe, comment positively or even just constructive criticism, because I love to hear both. And be sure to follow me on my social channels as well. I'll leave links to those in the description. I want to start doing that now more as well, so that'll be down there. But it finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Brady calls it a career. What happens to the NFL from here is a question that will naturally be answered in due course. But what happens to the Bucs is a question that needs to be answered a lot sooner. Tampa Bay is a team that was built to win now. They still are built to win now. But as you can see, looking over my left-hand shoulder, as well as my right shoulder as well, I know firsthand what it's like to have teams that are built to win, aside from that one crucial position, the most important one in all of sports, at quarterback. I know what happens when you don't build there as well. Bucs fans, if you think you're all good, you're not. Nobody is. Take it from me, an expert in this field. In this field of satisfactory but incomplete teams, because there was one position that you didn't get it right. This is a crucial time for Jason Licht and Bruce Arians. Congratulations, you got Tom Brady to Tampa. You won a Super Bowl. Now this is where you cement your legacy in Tampa Bay. And the way to do it? Find his successor. Find the heir to Tom Brady's throne, albeit a short-held throne there at Raymond James Stadium. And I'll tell you what, I think one of those options, perhaps even the best option, may already have a locker at your facility. Kyle Trask, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle Trask attended the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida, not too far away from, yes, Tampa, Florida, as one might surmise. Kyle Trask was on the bench the first few years of his collegiate career, was forced to show a high degree of resilience, and not wandering off to that ever so tempting transfer portal. He stuck with Florida, and when Felipe Franks sustained an injury, Kyle Trask took the job and ran with it. And in his final year as a Gator, he actually was a Heisman Trophy finalist. Selected, and I believe, the second round by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Relatively high one way or another. Kyle Trask was selected to play. He was selected to play for the Buccaneers. Not to be a career backup, but to one day start. And that day has come sooner than perhaps the Bucs anticipated or wanted. But alas, that day has arrived. Perhaps. Because Kyle Trask is just one option here. The other, or well, there's a couple of options, but for another one, you go from Tampa Bay to, yes, Green Bay. And you make a call. If you're Jason Licht and Bruce Arians, you make a call to the Green Bay Packers and see what they'll take for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that you can pull that off simply because you have a team built to win now, but maybe not built to win long term. So you need those draft picks. They're vital. They always are. Draft picks are like the most sought after commodity right now in professional sports, and rightfully so. You need those picks. Especially if you're looking at having to replace aging veterans. Maybe not this year, but in the years ahead at certain positions. High-level draft picks are the way to do it. If you're the Bucs, you place a call. I don't care. You place a call. And this isn't just speaking as a Bears fan that would be both happy to see him leave and happy to see him go, but you have to place that call. You have to at least see what it'll take to get Aaron Rodgers from Lambeau Field to Raymond James Stadium. You have to at least set up a dialogue with Packers management. And you have to at least open those discussions. So, on the path forward for the Bucs, right now they're kind of at that proverbial fork in the road. We took a look to our left to see if path one, the Kyle Trask path, is perhaps desirable. Took a look at path number two straight ahead to see if the Aaron Rodgers path is both desirable and feasible. But now, let's take a look at that last remaining path. Or perhaps two. I'll give you two. I'll give you two more. This is the most crazy fork in the road ever. It makes the most wild stories and novels look minuscule. The next one is you keep an eye on what happens in the news. You maybe watch as much CNN as ESPN, as much Fox News as Fox Sports, and you see what happens with Deshaun Watson's legal situation. If it clears up and he is eligible to play next season, then you would give Nick Caserio, that second-year general manager who made, for whatever reason, the decision to fire David Culley after 1 year and then hire his defensive coordinator, even though I'm ecstatic for Lovie Smith. Still love Lovie, but that certainly was a random choice at best. But you give him a call and say, hey, if, if Deshaun Watson is eligible and his legal status is completely clear, you give him a call and see what he wants. See what he wants for Deshaun Watson. Again, doesn't mean you have to pull the trigger, but at least set up those discussions. You have to do that. There is path number 3. And admittedly, there's pros and cons for all 3, and there's a pro and a con for number 4. You go perhaps the most, or second most, low-cost option here. And you explore what is on paper the slim pickings of the 2022 NFL Draft quarterback class. You look at Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh, Malik Willis from Liberty, maybe Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati. You look at those kinds of guys. A few others as well. Maybe a Carson Strong out of Nevada. Certainly a trendy name. I think a lot of people are interested. You look at those guys and you see, maybe is there something there? I don't know if Bucs fans help me out if you guys have a pick in the first round, but if you do, it's going to be late. It's going to be late in the first round. If you do have that pick, and Kenny Pickett is still there, which I think he may very well be, you have to be tempted to pull the trigger. You have to feel like there is a shot here. I'm not so sold on the other 3 that I mentioned, but if Pickett is there, you consider that. You certainly give that serious thought when you're in that war room and you're talking it out. And even in the run-up to the draft, Pickett may be your guy. I don't think he will get quite to that point. Could be close. This is one of those years where quarterbacks are all over the board, and they're going to keep moving. There's still a couple months before the draft. If Pickett is there, they have to think about it. So there are your options. What do I do? All things considered, I think before the draft, it sounds like, and I'm not a legal analyst, so please don't take any of this for anything in terms of expertise. I don't even want to try for that. I don't think Deshaun Watson's situation, based on what is being reported in terms of how this process is going, I don't think it'll be cleared up before the draft. And so I don't think that the Bucs will make a serious move there. I think the Packers are going to set a pretty astronomically high price for Aaron Rodgers. And I don't think that the Bucs should pursue that, personally. I think they are best supplementing their core here and perhaps trying to establish that new group that may come in and replace some of the veterans who, even this offseason, we don't know what their status is. I think trades are probably out of the realm of possibility, at least if I'm Jason Licht, where I'm going. So that leaves the draft. And I just don't think Kenny Pickett's going to be there. Even if they do pick in the first round, I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think Pickett will be on the board. And then you look at, okay, Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder, Carson Strong, and a couple other names as well. And I think you're almost back in the same spot. I don't think those guys are ready to take on championship expectations right now. And I'm not here to say Kyle Trask necessarily is, but when you have those high expectations, it is better to have somebody that knows the system well, has been in the system, and doesn't have to be caught up to speed. Of course, there are chemistry things he's going to have to work on with the ones if he gets the chance. But I think that is the best option right now for Tampa Bay. There's not a whole lot of there's a lot of options. There's just not a lot of great options out there, surprisingly. Of course, one option that I didn't talk about is that you could look for perhaps a bridge quarterback. I don't personally see Mitchell Trubisky as a bridge quarterback, but that's said with bias. But he is a free agent. I know that the Bills apparently liked him as a backup and maybe would explore bringing him back, but I think Mitchell Trubisky wants a chance to play again. Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, maybe you swing a deal with Denver. I think it's quite possible that with John Elway no longer there, Vic Fangio no longer there, that they may look to move on from Drew Lock. And maybe if they release him, you can not have to send picks back over there. There's an option there. Of course, there are other bridge quarterbacks as well, but those are your options. Maybe the new regime in New York doesn't feel so strong about Daniel Jones that if you could swing a deal for him, those are kind of your options. I don't like those options. I think your best seeing this year is Kyle Trask, our guy long term, and I think he could be. I think with those weapons, I think there's a shot. But of course, it is the NFL offseason. It's the time where we wait, we ponder, we speculate, and then we wait some more, and then we ponder some more, and then we speculate some more, and we keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Or I guess technically the offseason hasn't started for at least Cincinnati and Los Angeles Rams, but beginning Monday. So that's where I stand on it. I think Kyle Trask should be starting week 1 next year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That concludes today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I appreciate you viewing and staying tuned, and I hope that you continue to do so. I'll be back here for tomorrow's video. Please, if you can, like, comment, subscribe, leave ideas, constructive criticism as well down in the comments. I greatly appreciate it all. And don't forget, if you subscribe, please turn on the post notification bell. Should be on there, little bell icon. If you click that, you'll get notified every time that I post. I believe you do if you subscribe anyway, but you'll get with post notifications. Should get that right away as soon as I upload a video. This one will be, you're seeing it now, so, but then tomorrow's video, I'm going to shoot for props right around the same time, so that should be up then. But anyways, that's going to conclude for today's video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.